What's going on, everyone? Happy Monday to everyone. Hopefully everyone is doing well, having a great day so far, and I really hope you had a great weekend. It is time now for another weather update for Monday, October 14th, 2024. If you're new to my channel, this is where I do weather and climate updates for the United States, and sometimes we talk about other places around the world. So if you're new and want to be informed, subscribe down below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. The more people that hit that like button, the more YouTube's going to push this content throughout the algorithm. Of course, share this video with anyone you know. And remember to hit that notification bell and leave your comments down below. Alright, starting off with the United States satellite loop, we can see here there is some disturbed weather in the northeast. That is in the form of a cold front that came through the northeast. And you can see this dip in the jet stream, which is showing up here on cloud cover map from satellite. You can see that there is some cloud cover, and this is a trough that's moving in with some of the coolest air of the season, make that coldest air so far this season. And there has been some showers, some rain across New England, and even an isolated report of snow flurries in northern New York State. Yes, it is getting to become that time of the year. The rest of the country is fairly quiet. We do have some showers in the Pacific Northwest, and thankfully down in Florida and the Southeast all is quiet at this time. But even for you, some much cooler weather is headed your way. Let's take a look at what's going on with the radar picture around the United States, and we can see here in the Northeast there are those showers that are continuing to be ongoing this afternoon, and that is going to continue. This system will eventually exit, but there could even be a few snow flurries wrapped in behind us in the highest elevations, and you're seeing some coloring on the map here. That's right, freeze warnings, freeze watches. Probably will be some frost advisories that get added as well. Yes, this is a very cold air mass. Taking a look at the Pacific Northwest, we do see here Seattle, there are some showers just to the northwest of you, which we will keep an eye on. Taking a look at the national picture here, once again, you do see in the purples here, those are freeze warnings that are up for the northern plains, portions of Michigan. There are frost advisories for Iowa. And you can see surrounding that there are freeze watches. Even into Pennsylvania, things are starting to get cooler. But it's not going to stay like that the whole time. I'll show you that in just a little bit. Alright, I do need to show you this. There are still some air quality issues ongoing in several areas of the United States, mainly in the western United States. You can see here, that's being caused by some wildfires, which are continuing to be ongoing out in that area. And that's going to be a problem until some rainfall comes your way. I'll show you the drought map in just a little bit. Also, there are some air quality problems down in the southeast. So if you're in any of these areas, just be mindful of that. It may impact your breathing if you're, someone who suffers from COPD or asthma. All right, taking a look at this. I thought this was interesting. National Weather Service in Morristown, Tennessee is saying first snowfall across the mountains late Tuesday and Tuesday night. Not expecting a lot of snowfall, but enough that, hey, it's going to be a good reminder that winter is just around the corner. And they are saying accumulations of half an inch to an inch possible in the very highest elevations. It's going to be a very quick moving event, and I will show it to you on the models. Alright, down in Florida, remember Milton, it was such a devastating storm last week. Well, Spectrum says they still have 580,000 customers without internet. Yeah, that's a big deal. And taking a look at the power outage situation, as of the time of this update, let's refresh this, 365,428 people still without power. That's a lot of people, but it is far from the 3 million that did lose power from Milton in Florida. But again, I mean, it's challenging. There's a lot of trees down. There's a lot of damage in the Tampa Bay area, and that is creating problems. It's making it be quite the struggle to get the power back up and running for some people. All right, we just talked about Milton, which was last week. Well, there is an invest in the Atlantic, and it's something we have to watch. Over the next 2 days, 10% chance of development. But when we go over the next 7 days, it does go up to 60% chance of development with this Invest. And it is something that we are continuing to watch. This is named Invest 94L, and let's click on it, shall we? We can see here, Invest 94L. There it is right there. There's a little bit of thunderstorm activity. Yesterday it was completely exposed, and this is not organized by any means, but as time goes on, things will become more favorable. The water temperatures are going to warm up, maybe be less dry air, and less wind shear down the line. But that is several days away, and let's take a look at what it shows here. The hurricane models are showing. You can see here the hurricane models have a general southwest track, then it turns a little bit more to the northwest. You can see all of them have it missing Puerto Rico, but I'm going to show you the GFS in just a bit, which gets pretty close to Puerto Rico, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. And let's go back here, and we will see, when we take a look at the intensity guidance, once we get past about 36 hours, there seems to be a split. Some models say, hurricane models say, it's not going to do much of anything. Others do take it to a tropical storm. Some go up to a Category 1, maybe even a strong Category 1. So it's something we're going to have to continue to watch. Here is the GEFS, and I want to show this to you. This is the ensemble of the GFS. And you can see here, it does continue west, and you can see there's not many members further down the line. Why aren't there many members? That's because there's so many members that think it may not even develop at all. But the ones that do, look what happens. Some even go south of Puerto Rico, some go just to the north, and a few of them do try to develop this system, and then it gets kind of hung up in the Caribbean and doesn't do much from there. One member does turn it off to the northwest, out into the Atlantic. It's something we will have to continue to watch down the line. As of right now, it is not looking to be a threat for the United States, but stay tuned. As you know, with these undeveloped systems, when they do become developed, when they do become named, tropical models and regular models, global models as well, can completely change. So it's just something to keep an eye on. And if you're going to be on near any of these islands, keep an eye on it. All right, taking a look at that drought map as promised, you can see here significant drought problems for a lot of areas. You can see southeast Pennsylvania. That's where I'm at, and I'm looking at my Davis Vantage Pro 2 to my right, and I have it set for monthly rainfall. Yes, we're now at October 14th. My monthly rainfall so far, 0.00. And the National Weather Service in Mount Holly, New Jersey actually tweeted out, or actually posted the other day, the last time we've had a half an inch of rainfall. You have to go back to August, so it's been extremely dry, but not just here where I'm at. It's been dry for a lot of you as well, unless you're in Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, and extreme eastern Tennessee. It's been wet for you, but look everywhere else. We need rain. A large portion of the United States needs rain, and it's why on the West Coast and the Northwest, the wildfires are just not letting up. And until we get some significant rainfall events, much of the same is going to pretty much continue for you. So we could do with a few rainfall events, that general steady rain. And I do have some good news to report. Some areas will see some rainfall, at least in the Four Corners region. Here we go. Take a look here. We can see here, this is from the Weather Prediction Center. You can see portions of Texas, Oklahoma, Colorado, even portions of Utah, New Mexico. You will see some precipitation, even some mountain snows. Yes, that is being shown on the models as well. And you also do see some isolated areas that get heavier precipitation near the Great Lakes. That's because you have the colder air that is going to be funneling over the very warm lake waters, and basically that is going to lead to some lake effect, not snow, but lake effect rainfall. You also see along the Washington and Oregon coast, there is some rainfall expected over the next 1 through 7 days. But everywhere else in between, the south, you need to break. Pennsylvania, not much precipitation for you. Dry from Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, Iowa. Hardly any rainfall in the northern plains. Yeah, these are areas that do need the rainfall. Once again, I'm showing you here. You're seeing abnormally dry, moderate drought, and yes, even speckled in severe and exceptional drought. Look at West Virginia and Southeast Ohio. That is not good. All right, moving on now to the Storm Prediction Center. Whole bunch of nothing to talk about there. No organized severe storms our forecast there today. Let's take a look at the NAM over the next couple of days, and you can see here the NAM is showing that in New York State, generally north of Albany, north of Saratoga, New York State, there could be some snowflakes mixing in. Then as we advance the NAM, watch what happens as we head into Tuesday evening. Look real closely here. See that little light shade of blue? That is that light snowfall that's expected in the Virginia mountains, Tennessee mountains, maybe even North Carolina mountains. And we do continue to see some light to maybe even steady periods of rain in the northwest. Mountain snows are possible. It's getting to be that time of year where the freezing level slowly starts to come down and the snowpack slowly starts to build. So that is something that we're going to watch. Generally in the east, things are going to remain quiet for the remainder of the week, but cooler than normal temperatures. We're talking maybe temperatures that will be 5 to 10 degrees, potentially below average. But that's this week where we're going to be talking about, cooler than normal temperatures. But let's take a look at what happens for next week. And we can see here that on the GFS, let's reverse this to the beginning. Here's that system in the northeast. You can see there will be a few flurries with that in the higher elevations, and same deal as well for portions of Tennessee, West Virginia, and Virginia. But this cooler air mass is going to move out as we head towards the weekend, and look what happens here. You do see there is a return flow around this area of high pressure, which does result in warmer temperatures, and you can see that as I advance this, things do warm up once again. Things get back into the mid-60s in portions of Pennsylvania, and it will actually get potentially even warmer than that. You can see here, there is a relatively warm air mass all the way up into Chicago. You can see 80s in Texas, and that air mass is going to eventually shift its way to the east before there will be another potential shot of cooler air, and I'll show you that the 500 millibar. You can see here a trough does come into the east once again next weekend, so very normal for fall, where we see temperatures do big swings, and we're going to see things get warm, and then we're going to see things cool off. So we're going to be in this back and forth pattern, and you do see here there is a double trough. A trough in the east, and also a trough in the west. But we're not necessarily talking a ton of precipitation. Take a look here. You can see here, big dry bubble in the southeast. Just very little amounts of precipitation in the northeast. That dry bubble in the mid-Atlantic region. And we do see some rainfall does occur in the Pacific Northwest. All right, let's take a look at the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, and we do note here that well above average temperatures for much of the country. Chicago, the Northeast, down in Miami, take a look at this, Miami, Florida, above average for you. San Francisco Bay Area, above average. In between, near normal temperatures. Not a lot of precipitation in the east, a little bit in between, and some precipitation up in the Pacific Northwest with a dry wedge down in the southwest. 8 to 14 day temperature outlook shows well above average temperatures for a majority of the country, with exceptions to Montana, Wyoming, Idaho, portions of Washington State and Oregon, slightly below average, where you will see those shower chances. And there's also slightly above average precipitation there, but really dry continuing in the east. If this holds for the east, drought conditions could get significantly worse in the mid-Atlantic region on northward, and we can see below average precipitation for portions of Arizona and New Mexico. Alrighty, folks, that does it for today's weather update. We'll have another one later in the week as needed. We'll keep our eyes on that invest down there in the Atlantic. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe down below, hit that notification bell, share this video with anyone you know, and of course leave your comments down below. You can always follow me on X at Climate Data Report. That does it for today. Thanks for watching, and I will see you again next time.